Hello and welcome to the Consistory of the Calc YouTube channel. I'm your host for this video, Reverend Jake Zabel of St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church, located in Dalby, Queensland, Australia. And in this video, I'm continuing my mini-series on Jewish apologetics by going through Old Testament proofs for Christian doctrines, to show that these doctrines are not something that we Christians just made up, but that they are things that are evident even in the Old Testament. Now this one's going to be a bit shorter than my previous videos, but this is the Old Testament proof that the Messiah's kingdom is not of this world. So in the New Testament, Jesus tells Pilate that his kingdom is not of this world. And I want to demonstrate that this again is not some new teaching that was just invented by the Christians, but this is something evident already in the Old Testament. And the two main proofs for this is that when God gives the promise to David that the Messiah would come, God said that the Messiah's kingdom would be everlasting. Now, first of all, I don't know how we're going to have this Messiah that is immortal and lasts forever, unless he's God in human flesh and ruling over a kingdom not of this world. But let us just address the fact that God promised to David that the one who would be seated on his throne, the Messiah, would rule over an everlasting kingdom. That his throne would last forever. Now what's interesting is that this world won't last forever. In the prophet Isaiah, he talks about how the old earth and the old heavens will be destroyed and replaced with the new earth and the new heaven. So let us ask ourselves logically, if the Messiah's kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, but this world won't last forever, then how can his kingdom be a kingdom of this world? If the world will not last forever, but his kingdom will last forever, then his kingdom must be something that transcends this world. Something that transcends space and time. Something that is not a kingdom of this world. And so, yeah, it's that simple. I mean, I could probably try and go into some other arguments, but it's that simple. The Messiah's kingdom was meant to be an everlasting kingdom, but this old earth will not last forever. And this is, again, not something taught only in the New Testament. This is something taught in the Old Testament. In the book of Samuel, God promised David that the Messiah would have an everlasting kingdom, but in the prophet Isaiah, God promised that this world would not last forever. It would be replaced with the new heavens and the new earth. Therefore, in order for the Messiah's kingdom to be something that lasts forever, it must be something not of this world, not of this old earth. It must be something that transcends this earth so that it can exist in both the old earth and the new earth. So there, we have it in the Old Testament, the teaching that the Messiah's kingdom is not of this world. Therefore, the idea that the Jewish Messiah was coming to set up some great Jewish empire, that he was going to establish some kingdom that spread from the Nile to the Tigris or the Euphrates, or that he was going to establish some global Jewish empire, that's just not the teaching of Scripture, not even in the Old Testament. So, yeah, even the New Testament, when the Pharisees and even the apostles were waiting for Jesus to come and set up this earthly messianic kingdom, well, the teaching is just there in the Old Testament. The Messiah's kingdom was not of this world. So the idea for Jews to be waiting for some earthly messianic kingdom is just not in keeping with the Old Testament. I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.